Tonight, an environmental action group is calling out San Antonio ISD, saying that its lead problem is actually worse than what the district is making it out to be.
In November, KSAT Investigates highlighted the district's participation in a voluntary lead testing program, and there were some concerning findings.
Yeah, as Lee Waldman explains, a new EPA ruling could put more of SAISD's water fountains out of compliance.
This more comprehensive testing now that SAISD is doing has uncovered, a pervasive problem that we just didn't know about.
When Luke Metzger with Environment Texas first saw lead testing data from San Antonio ISD, he says he was horrified.
When we send our kids to school, we expect them to be safe and to,
In 2022, that November, water fountain 177.2. Follow-up samples in February 2023 tested at 117 and 64 parts per billion, well over the Environmental Protection Agency's actionable limit of 15 parts per billion. Smith Elementary, Mark Twain Dual Language Academy, and Pershing Elementary each had drinking fountains test in the triple digits.
It's very scary that, our kids could be exposed to lead levels that high.
Metzger's organization, a nonprofit advocate for clean air and water, has monitored lead levels in school drinking water for years.
What we found is that 71% of the schools who did do testing found lead in their drinking water.
49 of San Antonio ISD's drinking fountains tested over the EPA's actionable limit in 2022. SAISD says the fountains are closed while the district evaluates the source of the lead. In an email sent to SAISD families, the district cited KSAT's reporting and told families the water fountains had not been in use because of COVID restrictions, writing, quote, "The stagnant nature of the outlets may have contributed to the lead readings." However, there's no data to support that.
Prior to COVID, could those lead numbers still have been there when kids were using this water fountain more regularly?
Well, anything's possible. We don't know. No one was testing then.
In 2024, the EPA is proposing a change to its actionable limit of lead found in drinking water from 15 parts per billion to 10.
If that happens, SAISD will have more of its campuses with water fountains out of compliance, like here at James Madison Elementary, which had a drinking fountain test at 14.5 parts per billion, and SH Gates Elementary, which had a drinking fountain test just below at 14 parts per billion.
There's no safe level of lead in drinking water.
Jerry Trevino with Metro Health agrees. The Environmental Health Administrator says no lead exposure is safe, especially for young children.
Their bodies are still growing and developing, right? Lead affects the nervous system and the brain.
Their office works to educate families on what to look out for in their children.
Some symptoms that have been reported are belly aches or belly pains, constipation, vomiting, and developmental delays as well.
Metzger is urging SAISD to do more than the minimum and eliminate any amount of lead in water like other districts in the state.
Back in 2017, AISD committed to that 1 part per billion standard and put in filters on all of the water fountains. Houston ISD earlier this year committed to spend about $6 million to put these hydration stations with filters in every school building in the district.
While SAISD is assuring families it's taking a proactive approach, Metzger says parents need to demand more.
Our own data, has uncovered a massive problem, and unfortunately that means they're going to need to take far greater action to protect our kids.
For KSAT Investigates, I'm Lee Waldman.
So what now? Well, parents can contact their pediatrician's office if they're concerned about possible lead poisoning for their children. There's a blood test that actually detects high lead levels.
And Lee also talked about this in her piece. Metro Health also does outreach to help parents identify possible points for lead exposure. It's a lot of stuff to get through. Could be overwhelming, but we have those resources for you over on KSAT.com. Keep up to date with all of San Antonio's top news, weather, and so much more by clicking the like and subscribe buttons below. And once again, thanks for watching KSAT.